A movie that is less of a horror movie and more of a 2-hour-long episode of Scooby-Doo. Today, we are talking about Scream 3. With a 45% tomato meter, a 38% popcorn meter, and an abysmal 5.7 on IMDb, Scream 3 was not critically acclaimed or fan accepted, and it's very simple. It's because it's a comedy. It's a Scooby-Doo goofball mystery opposed to a horror film. Once again directed by Wes Craven, unfortunately Kevin Williamson was busy with other products as he was one of the biggest names in Hollywood at the time. So writing the role came down to a couple other writers, but the credit goes to Aaron Kruger for writing Scream 3. With a budget of $40 million, this film grossed $162 million in the theater, strictly riding off the back of the success from the first and second one. This was released in 2000, so it had been 3 years since they had a Scream movie. Unfortunately, the production for Scream 3 started just 3 months after the Columbine shooting. So, after the Columbine shooting, a lot of the families sued video game makers, they sued musicians, they sued movie creators, they sued a lot of people, blaming Hollywood, quite literally, for the incidents that happened. And Scream 3 didn't want to touch anything with that, so they took a different path, made it more of a comedy, a Scooby-Doo mystery. They actually do a lot of really tongue-in-cheek references to actually blaming Hollywood, which I enjoyed. It's good writing. But what was born was a third movie in a trilogy that did not fit the trilogy at all, and that's unfortunate. With their expanded budget again on Scream 3, they brought in Hollywood's finest of the finest. They got Parker Posey, they got Scott Foley, Patrick Dempsey, Jenny McCarthy, Patrick Warburton. They also have cameos from Carrie Fisher of Princess Leia and Star Wars, but it's not Carrie Fisher. She's specifically playing not Carrie Fisher, which is an interesting idea. It also has cameos by Jay and Silent Bob. Wes Craven is again in the tour group in the film. It has cameos by the loved Randy on VHS tape explaining the rules of a trilogy, so he got to come back for the third one a little bit. And also has a cameo by the great Roger Corman, a Hollywood producer for several decades who made B-horror movies. He is the guy who is saying not so much violence in the movie, which is a really cool little homage to all the shit that horror directors have to deal with from the studio. With a very Scooby-Doo vibe, Scream number 3 deals more with character development of Gail, Dewey, and Sydney. Sydney is no longer the final girl. She's all grown up, and now she's an investigator and a fighter and a cop, and all three of them are crime solvers who are on the mission to find out who the final killer is. Due to Neve Campbell's packed schedule of Party of Five and Drowning Mona, she was not very available for this film. She only had 3 weeks of shooting time, making most of the movie's character development based around Dewey and Gail. Coming full circle, as Randy mentions in any trilogy, Scream 3 deals with the backstory of Maureen Prescott, that would be Sydney's mother, and it really dives into blaming Hollywood for all of this. Despite all the flaws with Scream 3 that I was highly disappointed with on the first watch, I do kind of like the film for what it is, I will say. It has some good aspects. It's a comedy set in New Millennium Hollywood, which is right around my period of turning of age, and I know all the people in it. I get all the references in it. It does have some wacky stuff, but it's pretty good. Jenny McCarthy realizing her death is the second death, that's kind of, it's good writing. A lot of this was written very well. The whole idea of Parker Posey sticking to Gale Weathers, I love that aspect, and apparently that actually came from the original treatment by Kevin Williamson.
Here's how I see it. I've got no house, no bodyguard, no movie, and I'm being stalked. Because someone wants to kill me? No, because someone wants to kill you. So now, starting now, I go where you go. That way, if someone wants to kill me, I'll be with you. And since they really want to kill you, they won't kill me. They'll kill you. Make sense? None.
Sydney revisiting her old house from the first film on set was a real mind fuck, and I think that was very well done. I think that was pretty cool. I think they went too far with all of the ghost rising and voices and stuff, but the top of the stairs for the room being an actual set and having nothing there and just falls down to the bedroom, I love that little call out to Hollywood. Sydney stabbing on the third stab and saying stab 3, I think that was very well written. There's a lot of charming little lines, little jokes, little gags that I think were done well. My absolute favorite is Gale downstairs and Dewey calling from upstairs.
How do I know that this is you, Gale, not the killer?
Dewey, open the fucking door. It's me.
Don't you think that's what the killer would say?
Downfalls, a lot of downfalls. Like, first of all, I don't think Gale would have ever gone downstairs. That made no sense to me. But again, it's a Scooby-Doo episode, so you got to have some sort of mystery and involvement and entanglement there, so I get it. Top 5 interesting facts about Scream 3. Fact number 5. David Arquette's brother has a cameo in the film. He is the student at the college lecture that asks Gale a question. Fact number 4, Matt Kessler, who plays Tom Prince, who is playing Dewey in Stab 3, actually originally auditioned for the role of Billy Loomis in Scream 1. For interesting fact number 3, I'm going to have to give you a spoiler alert. Interesting fact number 3 about Scream 3, the original intention was to have 2 killers and stick with that trope. It would have been Emily Mortimer, who played Angela, who was helping the director kill. That would have been... I think why not stick to 2? I think that would have been a better way to go. And it would have stuck with the made more sense of how Ghostface Killer is everywhere. Interesting fact number 2 about Scream 3. At the time of its release, it set a record for the most theater screens showing a rated R movie. That is 3,467 movie screens showing Scream 3. And interesting fact number 1 about Scream 3, Matthew Lillard was actually paid to come back and be the killer in Scream 3. He obviously was Stu in the first one, but he was going to be Stu's twin brother who had come back for vengeance. Matthew Lillard got paid for the role, and had he actually gone through and done the part, had it not been rewritten, he would have been in all 3 Scream movies. You didn't know he was in Scream 2? Yeah, he was in Scream 2. Check it out at the end of this video. My retro recommendation for Scream 3, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. You don't need to watch this movie. If you want to get the full storyline, go for it. There's no reason to watch this. Honestly, I would say watch Scream 1 and just be done with it. The trilogy, it's good for a trilogy, and I'll definitely watch it again, but I'm not going to recommend that you do that. I just have nothing to do with my time. For our jump scare meter, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. There's a few. For our chills meter, 1 out of 5. It's never set up like a horror movie. It is very intentionally a comedy movie throughout. And for our gore meter, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. There's some blood. Not much at all. There's hardly any actual kill scenes, and they actually had to do an explosion kill, which I think was completely uncharacteristic and so far-fetched that it ruined a lot of it. But it is what it is. It's a good comedy. It is literally a 2-hour-long episode of Scooby-Doo. It's entertaining. Again, I'll watch it again. My personal story, I watched the first one several times in theater. Second one in theater, I was hugely disappointed. By the time Scream 3 came around, I was 14 years old. I didn't give a shit about watching it. I never watched this movie until I got this trilogy set. And the first time watching it, I was hugely disappointed. But I watched it again a couple weeks later, and I went, okay, for what it is, It is entertaining. There's some good lines. There's some good writing. It is clever. There's a lot to it. It's nothing like Scream 1. Scream 1 is a masterpiece. Scream 2 is an okay sequel. And Scream 3 is just a completely different movie. That's unfortunate, but I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Our special features, again, we've just got the 2 90-minute documentaries. That is Scream 3 for our 31 days of Halloween. Happy Halloween.